Hey everyone, I'm sure you're wondering why no post-mortem for the video game like I promised you guys for the Game Jam. That's because the project actually isn't over. I was smoothing some stuff out with the rest of the team and we were getting the rest of the plans done for it. And so we'll actually be pushing forward to hopefully a March release. End of March is where our goal is, and it will be a fully playable version of the game rather than the short, about 30-45 second demo we have now. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on, and I will be hopefully showing you guys dev blogs as I do that, now that we're finishing up pre-production and going into the full thing. Really, it's an interesting bit because I'm sort of the art lead for it, as well as I'm one of the design leads, and the other guy working on it, Noah, he is a programmer and the other design lead, but his schedule is pretty busy, and so we're working on it as quickly as we can, but it's slow moving. However, I have managed to get all of the models over to IK Controls, which for any animators who's watching my videos, I don't know why you are, that means that now I can make the animations much more fluid and faster. So we might be able to actually have full-on cinematics for the project, or just simply animated cutscenes. Fun stuff. Final notes, yeah, just be on the lookout for more. I might do a run through of the current build just to kind of show you guys, because I don't know if you guys really want to see me play a broken build game, but you can see kind of what a initial build. It's very white boxed. Like, a lot of the assets aren't what will be finished game assets, but other than that, it's really just a matter of I'm going to be putting in the work. Probably going to be streaming sometimes when I work in the evenings, just because you guys can ask me questions as I model and that stuff, point out my mistakes, because I mean, I still make plenty of those. I'm no pro. But yeah, overall, I'm going to take a minute here though to go over Game Jam stuff, because I did have to write a post-mortem for that. I know it's like 1 month later, but it's still, it was a big deal. I mean, I clocked in a grand total of 40 hours in Maya of the 38 hours Maya. So I only got about like 10 hours of sleep and stuff. So it was definitely a lot, and I will admit it was fun, but it is very taxing. And don't use energy drinks and that kind of stuff. Just don't. I mean, I didn't win, but it's besides the point. They're not good for you. But some of the other things you learn is you got to learn to organize better, or at least be clear with the organization process. So one thing with my models is I forgot to delete the history for a few of the models. Deleting history is a process where essentially when you have all the transforms and that stuff, it takes up memory. And so when you get from a box to a full character, that takes up a lot of memory in that history. If you delete those, it'll create a smaller file size, as well as make the model more compatible in things like Unity, Unreal. So that's just something that I now have on a sticky note on my computer, so I remember to do that. Other things that came up in the Game Jam was, don't overscope yourself. One of the things that will kill you in any project is when you try to take on too big of a challenge. And by that I mean, we attempted to make a full-on Oregon Trail-esque game with choices and all that stuff. By the end of it, we had a food, medicine, sanity system with all the people being able to individually die, and an end, and all the screens and all the UI and all that stuff, but we didn't have any of the choices, or we didn't have any of the like full animations imported, so it looked like a very basic game. Meanwhile, if we would have just focused on getting it to the point where, if we focused on getting specific things done before trying to work on the larger stuff, we probably would have been able to make a more completed game, but it just doesn't have as many features. So you do have to know your balance. You only have 48 hours, and some people have lives. Like, I don't have a life. That's just a given. I mean, I'm a game designing student. Clearly I don't have a life. There's this fence here. I'm inside this fence and that's my life. School's a lot like prison, kids. But other members of your team might have lives, especially like in this one, our only programmer. This isn't a problem, but he has other responsibilities because he's an adult. And so it's one of those, like, if we had a second programmer, or if I would have spent a little bit less time focusing on the art and going to the programming as well. Embarrassing video cutting out later. Sorry about that. But yeah, really, it would have gone a lot smoother if I did, but that's just something that I'm now learning. I'm really delving deep into Unity and all that stuff. Mostly actually Unreal, because that's the engine that a lot of my projects will hopefully be in. Anyway, yeah, just working on that. That's the biggest thing that I've learned, is know everything to the point where you can do it, but you don't need to know everything to the point where you can do it professionally. So yeah, if you are trying to go into game design, learn Maya, learn ZBrush, learn 3ds Max, learn Surface, the Substance Designer, Substance Painter, learn Photoshop, learn After Effects, learn all of those things, because being able to come up with an idea and being able to execute an idea are two completely different things. And that is not more apparent than when you're in a game jam, when you're in a very time-specific thing. So, yeah, really, and then also, if you're trying to be a designer, learn Unreal, learn Unity, learn Amazon Lumberyard, learn Game Maker, learn Construct, learn all of those engines, because you never know what the project's going to be in. Probably won't be in Game Maker or Construct if you're in professional, but with indie, you never know. Learn RPG Maker. I mean, some of the biggest games that came out that was like big indie titles, One Shot came out a while ago. That one made a decent buck. That one was in RPG Maker. Doki Doki was made in Ren'Py. So many of these smaller games that actually gain a lot of success aren't always made in Unity or Unreal. So just make sure that you are aware of those and that you're learning in those. And anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'm going to go get back to work. Might play some games. I don't know if I have time today. That'd be great. Anyway, we'll see you all later. Hopefully with more game stuff. Yeah, I'm modeling for games now. Don't worry, I won't try to push it to 10-minute mark. See you guys.